Welcome to Automate This, the podcast where we decode the future of automation and AI in business. I'm Alex Hammerschmidt, and every episode we explore how cutting-edge technology is reshaping the workplace, featuring real stories of transformation, expert insights, and practical strategies. If you want to stay ahead in the world of automation, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. This week, we're going to talk about AI-powered newsletter revolution, automating content distribution in email marketing. Therefore, I created a really nice deep research with ChatGPT 4.5 again regarding this topic. And exactly as the last time, we are walking through each of these steps of this research paper, and I'm going to discuss it with you, for you, and of course, I will put my 50 cents to it as well. So let's go ahead. Email marketing is undergoing a revolution as artificial intelligence is increasingly used to automate and personalize newsletters at scale. Modern email tools can now analyze customer data, generate tailored content, and optimize delivery times, all with minimal human intervention. Open source solutions like Mautic, marketing automation, and N8N, workflow automation, allow businesses to build custom AI-driven email workflows, integrating seamlessly with e-commerce platforms like WooCommerce and Shopify, and of course, all the others as well. The result is an AI-powered newsletter workflow that can write itself and send consistently on schedule, boosting engagement and freeing up marketers for higher level strategy. Okay, I really love that, of course, because it mentions Mautic, N8N, WooCommerce, Shopify, all the things we are working with. And yeah, I think I can add one or two things. AI-powered email marketing trends. AI is transforming how marketers design and distribute email campaigns. Yes, definitely. So I think nobody can deny, or I think everybody is using AI in marketing, or no, not everybody. I think a lot of people are already using AI in marketing. I think it's kind of ridiculous if somebody tells me, nah, we are texting everything on our own, by ourselves, because we are texting so great and our texts are better than AI. I think that's not true. I think then if you're doing this, then you don't know how to prompt AI. And in general, I think AI is doing a great job as copywriter, because copywriting is basically a skill which you can learn. So it's the creative process, of course, it's there, but it's not really like the big thing. Anyways, so if you don't use it, just try it, play around with it, and then you will see it's amazing. Okay, smart automation. AI handles repetitive tasks such as scheduling and testing. Yes. For example, algorithms can determine optimal send times by analyzing when each subscriber is most active, ensuring emails are delivered when engagement likelihood is highest. AI also streamlines A/B testing by quickly comparing multiple email variants to find what works best, eliminating guesswork. Definitely, I think that's one of the biggest things AI can actually do. By truly analyze what's going on without human bias. So I think that's the biggest problem with A/B testing. That's the biggest problem with humans tend to want to get a defined outcome, and AI doesn't care. So I think AI is amazing for doing this. And the coolest thing about agents, for example, or it's AI becomes this mixture right now. So agents, AI, workflows, all these terms. Yes, on one side they get confused, on the other hand they get mixed. So it's not like this is an agent and this is a workflow and this is something else. It's more like you should think about like, okay, how do we work with these tools? And what they are really, really extremely capable of is you can mass produce or mass analyze behavior in real time, basically. So it depends on compute power, of course. And if you have a list with 1 million email subscribers and you want to make a personalized email where the product is depending on the browsing history of the contact 2 hours before, then of course it needs computing power in order to be computed fast enough and sent out fast enough and so on. Because every workflow and every LLM interaction or AI interaction takes time, and therefore you need computing power to make it fast enough. So if you have like 1 million subscribers in the list, of course it takes quite a long time to send one newsletter if you do so many tasks before sending the newsletter. So therefore, it could be very beneficial to have a template which you send to each one of them, especially if it's time sensitive. If you don't have time sensitive things, and if you don't have the compute power, then of course you can do the craziest stuff with AI and ask 1,000 things and personalize it into the smallest detail. But keep this in mind. But it's amazing in doing this in real time before sending out something. So yes, that's awesome. Personalization at scale. Machine learning enables dynamic content insertion based on each recipient's profile and behavior. AI can craft individualized email sections, exactly, like product picks, content recommendations, etc., using data like past purchases or browsing history. Yes. It also optimizes subject lines by analyzing what phrases have driven opens in the past, boosting open rates through more compelling targeted phrasing. Yes, that's something you can quite easily build on your own. You don't need to have like the super expensive tool in order to do that. You only need to understand how to do it. Of course, so take a look at the Automate This channel in YouTube. There you'll find tutorials on how to do this, and we'll update it we'll update it regularly and show you how to do this, because doing that actually needs like a storage where you have your emails and how they performed and so on and so forth. And then you can feed it in, let's say every week or every other day, feed in the new emails and the new performances. And then before your AI writes a new newsletter, it needs to understand, or it needs to analyze how was the performance of the other newsletters related to this topic, for example. And then it can automatically use the new insights. Predictive analytics. Advanced AI models analyze large data sets to segment audiences and predict future actions. This empowers marketers to tailor campaigns to anticipated customer needs. Yes. For instance, AI can forecast which customers are likely to churn or make a purchase, then trigger appropriate email sequences for retention or upselling. Yes, that would be amazing. So yeah, let's try this. I think we need to build something for Hartmut.io, for our managed Mautic SaaS, which does exactly this, because keeping the churn rate low is, of course, an amazing revenue driver. AI-driven segmentation builds detailed customer profiles, enabling high targeted campaigns rather than one-size-fits-all blasts. Yes, that's the holy grail of marketing, right? To like send on different times depending on when is the person actually reading emails and opening emails, or reading newsletters and opening newsletters. not only work email. So this is amazing. And then, of course, understanding how engaged is the person with the brand right now? Does this person need something? Is he or she looking for something and couldn't find it? So it would be amazing to provide this knowledge via an email sequence, for example, and get them re-engaged and provide them with stuff they actually need and look for. Generative content creation. Yes, that's like marketers are tapping AI writing models to generate email copy from body to text to subject lines. Given an outline or key points, a generative AI like GPT-4 can compose a draft message in the brand's tone. While AI can rapidly produce content, human oversight is vital to ensure the copy aligns with brand voice and factual accuracy. Yes, some platforms even let AI write entire emails that marketers simply review and approve, accelerating campaign creation. Yes, that's true. On the other hand, we built this AI newsletter agent, which is capable of writing actually exactly the tone of voice, using only your products from your product database, only your own, let's say, blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts, and so on. So you can train and system message an AI in a way that it is truly your employee, for example. So you can give it the frame where it's within it is allowed to do stuff. So it's a matter of how well do you train, quote unquote. You don't train your AI, but how well you brief your AI, and how great the vector database and so on is, which AI is using in order to understand what it is doing or what it should do for the predicted outcome. So yeah, but that's something which is amazing, and you can find stuff for that on our channel as well. Full lifecycle optimization. Yes, AI now supports decision making throughout the email campaign lifecycle. You can automatically adjust send frequencies, personalize follow-ups, and even manage list hygiene. AI tools analyze campaign performance data in real time and provide recommendations for improvement. Over time, the system learns, quote unquote, which content and timing yield the best results for each segment, continually optimizing future sends. In short, AI-powered email programs can run with minimal manual input. Drafting content, scheduling sends, linking to relevant product pages, and even handling responses in some cases. Yeah, of course, you can build AI agents which read or which fetch every new email from the reply inbox and then create replies on your behalf as well. That would be like a support agent. We're building stuff like this as well. So it's definitely possible, and it's amazing what you can do. Of course, you need to have these handoff sequences or handoff rules where the AI understands, okay, I'm not allowed to say anything to that, to this topic or about that. So I need to hand off to an actual human agent. But you can integrate this, of course. Okay, let's compare some AI email automation tools. That's really interesting. It gave us 5 different integration tools. So the deep research here created a table with the platform, then notable AI-powered capabilities, and focus and notes. Okay, so let's walk through these. Mautic plus N8N, both open source. My favorites, and definitely the thing I recommend using. Like everybody should use these. It's just amazing what they are capable of, and you own your data. I think that's one of the most important things, to own your data, to own your stack, and use stuff which you can run on SaaS if you want, but you can get it out of each SaaS. For example, if you run Mautic with us, with Hartmut.io for some time, and then you understand, okay, you have actually to build your own IT infrastructure because you're growing so fast or whatever. You need, for example, you're a health related company, you have like health products, you're a doctor or whatever, then you maybe need to run your own servers regarding GDPR and HIPAA, like this health data. Then it totally makes sense to have a stack which you can just fetch from your existing SaaS and then run on your own server, rather than like you need to rebuild everything because MailChimp is not complying with the terms you need to comply with. So yeah, Mautic N8N. Okay, so Mautic has no built-in AI, but there are some plugins out there. But yeah, it has no built-in AI. It can integrate external AI via APIs for content and personalization. So that's what we are basically doing with N8N, because N8N has the capabilities of connecting each AI you want and building agents within the N8N node system. It's just so easy. There are plenty of templates, so many templates. You find some templates here in the link in the show notes as well. And it's just mind-blowing what you can do if you take some time to understand the core functionality. So understanding the core, I think that's the biggest, I don't know, I wouldn't call it drawback, but the biggest hurdle people need to take if they start using N8N and Mautic, like if they start using open source tools, which sounds so crazy because most of the tools are built on open source stack anyways. Doesn't matter. If you start using your own stack, you need, of course, put in some time. You don't need to learn so much, but you need to put in some time to understand the core functionality. And based on that, you start to understand that you can basically build whatever you want with the existing tools and all the fancy feature stuff which gets thrown at your face at the big players, quote unquote. It's just, yeah, it's heavy marketing to get you to think that MailChimp would have such a great AI built in. Of course, they have really nice features, but they come for a price on the one side, and on the other side, you are very limited in what you can do. That's the drawback. So anyways, workflow automation is configured in N8N, exactly. So you need this in open source. It's most of the time, it's like you have specialized software for the different things you need to do, rather than having one point of truth where you are limited to whatever they give you. So yeah. Okay, so this Mautic N8N is highly customizable stack, requires technical setup, but allows full control and free integration with WooCommerce, Shopify, and any AI service. Ideal for teams with developer resources seeking flexibility, or you take some freelancers if you want. So yes. Then MailChimp. AI-driven audience segmentation, okay, and predictive send time optimization. These are two really nice features. Can suggest optimal send times for each contact and auto-segment audiences based on behavior and demographics. That's actually really nice. But if you really want to get into AI and AI capabilities, you again need to connect MailChimp to N8N, which is possible. And then you are there you need to learn it for yourself anyways. Okay, focus and notes of MailChimp, popular email marketing platform with many templates. Some AI features, some AI features like predictive scheduling, available on paid plans, of course. Good for general email campaigns with moderate personalization needs. Yes. So if you're starting out, you can, of course, use MailChimp. It's amazing. I mean, it's better than writing no newsletter, of course. Omnisend, product recommendations and abandoned cart emails generated via AI. This is amazing. This is really nice. If you have if you have an online store and you don't want to bother about abandoned carts, this tool is doing it for you. That's really nice. Of course, you can do this with Mautic N8N. I need to market my favorite stack. Anyways, plus automated segmentation based on purchase history, which is super nice. These insights come from Shopify, by the way. So yeah, it works. Of course, it works with WooCommerce too. E-commerce focused solution excels at trigger-based emails like cart recovery, product follow-ups for online stores. Provides plug-and-play AI features tailored to WooCommerce and Shopify users. So this is really nice. Then ActiveCampaign. Lead scoring and journey automation with AI and dynamic email content based on subscriber behavior. Can fully automate campaign workflows from optimal send scheduling to inserting personalized content for each recipient. That's nice. And it has comprehensive marketing automation for SMBs, combines CRM, email, and AI, known for powerful automation flows, suited for advanced users who want an all-in-one solution with built-in AI for personalization. Yes, so that's really nice. But again, so each of them are really good at a few things. And if you really want to start playing around with vector stores and so on, you need a connector tool. Like each of them are able to connect with make.com, Sapia or I don't know how it's called. Nobody knows that. And N8N. So you can connect them to all these API connectors and start building from there. So you don't need to use Mautic, of course. And then Soho campaigns. AI features include smart A/B testing and send time optimization, plus interactive email content. Offers Shopify-specific triggers like automated abandoned cart emails and targeting based on purchase history. It's a cost-effective platform, free tier is available, integrates well with e-commerce. Good deliverability tools and basic AI enhancement, though not as advanced in content generation as some competitors. That's nice. Really cool. So we have Mautic plus N8N, my personal best. Then MailChimp, Omnisend, ActiveCampaign, and Soho campaigns. Yeah, nice. Really good. Really good. But I mean, what you see here in these notable AI-powered capabilities, all of them are quite the same. So we are at a very early stage. Agents are just becoming a thing. So I think by the end of 2025, all of these platforms, including the open source platforms, will have so much more capabilities and so many more use cases and things you can use inside the platform, because the race is on. So it's development is so fast, and it will get flooded with features. So yeah, use cases and case studies. Let's see. Here we have something from Mautic.org. We have something from Mailtrap.io. Again, Mautic.org. Automate this Pro. That's us. And Shopify.com. Yeah, nice. So like real world implementations of AI powered email automation span industries. Okay. So AI-driven email campaigns have demonstrated significant uplifts in engagement. In one case, adding AI to optimize send times led to a 24.5% increase in open rates. That's crazy. And plus 200% increase in click-throughs. For a company's emails, these improvements came from analyzing each contact's past behavior to send messages at the ideal time for that individual. A task impossible to do manually at scale. Totally, absolutely. You only can do this with using computers basically and AI. So Yum Brands, that's from Taco Bell, the parent company of Taco Bell, ran a pilot AI-driven email marketing campaign targeting a segment of customers. Their AI analyzed customer ordering patterns, for example, weekly regulars versus occasional bulk orders, and generated individualized email offers based on factors like time of day, day of week, and past order history. Subject lines and copy were tweaked by AI for each cohort. The result was double-digit increases in email engagement and sales for the pilot group. A clear win attributed to AI-driven personalization at scale. That's really interesting. What I see here is it was tweaked by AI for each cohort. So of course they segmented it and tweaked it by that. So I think it can be made even better if you start using like these 100% personalized optimization. But this, of course, is it's really difficult. It costs time, it costs computing power, and you need to have the infrastructure to handle so much load at once. So yeah, but that's amazing. That's really nice. So I'm very much looking forward how they grow their marketing or how they tweak their marketing in the future. Then OneLife, a heavy industry operator, adopted Mautic as its marketing automation platform and later introduced AI features to boost performance. By leveraging AI for send time optimization, again, and possibly content suggestions, they managed to send over 500,000 automated emails per year and dramatically increased lead generation. With AI assistance, they saw openers rise around 24% and clickers 200% higher than before. That's the one from before. This case underlies how even traditional industries can benefit from AI in email. OneLife is a B2B company. In this instance, using open source tools, Mautic, enhanced with AI to drive engagement. Nice. Then AI newsletter automation. It's not only large enterprises, smaller organizations and creators are using AI with open source tools. For example, marketers have combined Google Sheets, N8N, Mautic, and GPT-3 to build an AI-powered newsletter agent that essentially automates a weekly newsletter from end to end. One such setup involved planning content topics in a Google Sheet, using N8N to fetch the next topic, and call an AI via API, in this case OpenAI's GPT, to draft the newsletter text, then pushing that content into Mautic as a draft email. The final human review in Mautic is minimal, often just approving the AI written content, and the newsletter is sent on schedule without the marketer having to write each edition from scratch. This demonstrates how a savvy individual or small business can achieve a hands-off newsletter workflow using readily available tools and AI. Yeah, that's amazing. To be honest, it's so funny because Deep Research just quoted our website. I mean, they have our history, and of course, I did this, so of course they used my website as well. But yeah, that's really amazing. So we are using this AI newsletter agent for our clients, and it's really amazing how much time they just save by either doing it 100% automated. If you have a large, like we have a jewelry, they have more than 7,000 products, and all of these products, they have their descriptions and everything and their prices, and the AI just goes into the catalog. It fetches the descriptions, it fetches the prices, then it rewrites everything a little bit depending on the topic from the of the week, from the content calendar. It rewrites everything, and then it just puts the stuff into the template. So we defined templates where the AI is obliged to follow the template in order to create an email in Mautic, and then it just sends it, which is amazing. So this is something what's really nice. And then we have others which are doing it as described here. So the AI creates the email draft, and then they take a look and see if it's usable. And usually it is, or they would just add another sentence somewhere, and then they send it out, which is so nice because it helps you avoiding the like blank paper problem. So you're not stuck with no ideas or whatever. So you have something to work from, which is really nice, and it gives you it gives you a lot of time back. And then we have e-commerce personalized offers. This comes from Shopify. Online retailers have long used automation for cart abandonment, emails, and product recommendations. Yes. So before AI, cart abandonments and all the other things were workflows. So like handwritten, programmed workflows, which would just bulk email stuff out. Now AI is supercharging those efforts. Platforms like Omnisend or Klaviyo for Shopify and WooCommerce enable stores to automatically send tailored product picks to each customers. Yes, of course, you can build this with Mautic N8N as well. For instance, an AI might recommend complementary products based on a customer's browsing history and include them in a follow-up email. Yes, and this is really nice because then now you don't really need these standard thingies which you have in each shop. Like you buy a product, or you define a product inside the store, and then you have these products. These 3 products could interest you too, and then there are 3 products, and there usually nobody is really interested in them. But AI can now actually find, what did you take a look at? How often have you been there? What has the highest percentage of clicking through again, and so on. So this is really interesting. And putting this into emails is like, okay, I'm showing you again what you really liked because you spent 21 seconds on this time, and the other day you spent 12 other seconds on the exactly same item. So now we'll push it via email. This is going to change a lot. Companies report higher conversion when using these AI-driven recommendation emails as opposed to generic newsletters, of course. A Shopify case study notes that incorporating personalized product suggestions and timely reminders, for example, a nudge email an hour after an abandoned cart, can dramatically improve click-through and recovery rates. Yes, it does. In practice, a WooCommerce store could use such tools to have AI curate a section of each newsletter, like recommended for you, unique to every recipient, leading to a more engaging shopping experience via email. And this is where I think that open source, so where open source wins, because you need to create a quite, at least right now, you need to build a quite tech-savvy or quite complicated stack anyways in order to do stuff like this. It's not out of the box yet. And if it becomes an out of the box feature, it's gonna cost because it's quite difficult to do this within one tool. But if you're using, for example, N8N, and by the way, we don't get. I mean, if you can use the N8N affiliate link in our description, then we get like $15 or something if you sign up for their SaaS and pay them for 6 months or so. But otherwise, we're not affiliated with them, and we don't get anything by mentioning them. But I really love this tool. N8N changes so many things right now in the whole automation and workflow market, and of course AI agent market. A lot of AI agents out there are based on N8N. So if a service like a marketing agency or something offers you some agents which they build for you, a lot of them are using N8N to do that. So, because it's so easy to use actually. So I heavily recommend building your stack with tools like that, because you need to do it anyways, because then you have the ability to create to connect your database, build a vector store, which is so much faster than each regular database. That's the reason why you should have your database. Then you should feed your vector store with the content of your database. Then you connect your shop. Then you connect the browsing history of your contacts inside or of the users of your store. Then you connect your CRM, like Mautic or ActiveCampaign or whatever. And then you create these complex product suggestion features. So if you're going this route, I definitely recommend doing it open source, because it's so much cheaper and you have so many more possibilities. But you need to learn it. If you don't want to learn it, you need to find somebody who can do it for you. Automating email workflows with Mautic, N8N, and WooCommerce or Shopify, or of course all the others as well. So you can connect Magento and Shopware and whatever you want. Everything is possible. All these. So if you have a shop, let's say from, I don't know, once we had a company we worked with, and they got a store, and this company which built the software for the store is like a tiny German company, and they're building this store software, and it's so ridiculous. They didn't even have an API, and it was so complicated to connect and understand, to connect the store in order to understand what are people actually doing on the store and how can we use this in our email marketing and in our marketing efforts. And it was just ridiculous. So if you have a store which doesn't have an API, oh my God, go away. Really, go away. Just get another store system. It's ridiculous. WooCommerce is free. It costs you nothing. You get a developer, or you buy the plugins, and then you pay like €1,000 a year. And compared to somebody who builds you something for €50,000, and then it doesn't even have an API. Oh my God. So, okay. So you can connect N8N and Mautic with basically everything on the market, because they have APIs and you can listen and talk to them. So, okay, a powerful approach to AI-driven email marketing is to integrate Mautic and N8N with your e-commerce platform so that customer data and trigger events flow seamlessly into your campaigns and into your email campaigns. Mautic acts as the email marketing brain, managing contacts, templates, and sending, while N8N serves as the glue to connect outside systems and AI services into Mautic. WooCommerce or Shopify provides the e-commerce events like new customer signed up or order placed that kicks off the automated workflows. Okay, let's take a look how the integration works. Using N8N's visual workflow builder, you create automation sequences that listen for e-commerce events and then call Mautic's API to take actions. For example, you can set up an N8N workflow that triggers whenever a new customer account is created in WooCommerce and then adds that user in as a contact in Mautic, or it updates an existing contact. Similarly, an N8N flow can respond to a Shopify new customer event and automatically create the contact in Mautic with their name and email details. This ensures your Mautic contact list is always up to date with the latest shoppers. Let's see. I will read this until the end, and then I will put my 50 cents to it. Example, N8N workflow linking a WooCommerce trigger to Mautic actions. Check this kind of integration, checking if a contact exists, then creating or updating the contact. This kind of integration keeps your email list synced. Yes, okay. So here I will put in, it's so funny, it doesn't even write it just put it in italic. But the study, this is so interesting. So this was deep research from ChatGPT, and it didn't add the image. It just added the alt text. I don't know. It's really interesting. Anyways, I will link this example workflow, how to link WooCommerce to Mautic, and you can download it from the show notes. Take a look there. It's super simple. Once contacts and purchase data are flowing into Mautic, you can automate email campaigns based on that data, of course, because Mautic can then be used for automating. For instance, Mautic's campaign builder could be used to send a welcome email series to each new customer added via the above workflow. You could also capture events like cart abandoned. N8N might detect an abandoned cart via WooCommerce's API and tag that user in Mautic, triggering a Mautic campaign that sends an AI personalized cart reminder email after a delay. Because N8N can incorporate AI at any step, you could even generate the cart reminder email content dynamically. An example: hey John, you left a size M blue t-shirt in your cart. Here is 10% off to complete your purchase. Yes, with product details inserted by AI. The integration of these tools creates a closed loop system. E-commerce events feed into Mautic, AI helps craft the messaging, and Mautic sends out timely, tailored emails automatically. Yes, this is amazing, and I will link two different N8N plus Mautic plus WooCommerce workflows in the show notes. The one thing is like getting your customers from your store into Mautic, and the other thing is the abandoned cart workflow, which we created, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months ago. So I will link this, and then you can use it from there. It's actually pretty simple doing that. The other thing which is very important here is you also get with Mautic, you also have a tracking pixel, or a tracking script, which is so useful because Mautic then realizes and it creates a browsing history of the contact. So if you know your contact, if Mautic has your contact, has a cookie in the contacts browser, then you can read through the Mautic API where and when and for how long each contact was on which product. And based on this, you can, for example, put into your cart abandonment email. And by the way, this product is available until blah, blah with $5 off or whatever. So you can do this with this integration, which is awesome. Yeah, so let's take a look at implementation strategies for everyone. Implementing AI-powered email workflows can be approached at 2 levels of complexity. Beginners can start with out-of-the-box integrations and basic AI features. Yes, so if you are a beginner and if you don't have too much time, don't start doing everything with open source, because you will need somebody to take care of this, or you will spend time learning that and not spend time doing your business. So think about what you're doing. Maybe if you're very short on time, it's maybe better to use something out of the box without using these super complex stacks. If you have a team, use the complex stack. They only need to learn it once, and then they can use it forever. While advanced users can customize and extend the system for maximum personalization and efficiency. Below are practical step-by-step strategies for both groups. Okay, so for beginners, getting started with AI email automation. Set up your tools, that's number 1. Install or sign up for Mautic for email marketing and N8N for workflow automation. If you prefer not to self-host, you can use cloud offerings for both. Ensure Mautic is configured with your email sending settings, SMTP or a service like Amazon SaaS, and create basic email templates for your newsletters and campaigns. If you're interested and if you don't want to have a super difficult install process, I will link a Docker. I will link the Automate This stack in the show notes, and this is a one super simple setup script which sets you up with Mautic and N8N on your own server within a few seconds. It's super simple, it's super easy. It has a YouTube tutorial, so you can walk through that. It takes around 10 minutes. So follow the tutorial, and then you have your stack ready to go. Number 2, connect e-commerce data. Integrate your WooCommerce or Shopify store with Mautic using N8N's pre-built nodes. Yes, in N8N you have WooCommerce nodes, you have Shopify nodes, and you have Mautic nodes. So you can connect these systems super easily with each other. Design automated emails in Mautic. Yes, within Mautic, set up a simple email campaign or segment email that will be sent to new contacts added from your store. For example, create a welcome series email that thanks new customers for registering. You can use Mautic's tokens to personalize basic elements like inserting the contact's first name, if you have it. At this stage, content can be static or use simple personalization rules. Yes, that's the bare minimum at the beginning. Incorporate AI assistance. Lightweight. To dip your toes in AI without heavy coding, leverage AI tools for content suggestions. For instance, use an AI copywriting assistant to generate a few subject line options and test which gets better opens. Some email platforms and third-party services provide AI subject line recommendations. You could also use a service to score your email content for spamminess and clarity. AI-based email optimization tools can suggest tweaks to improve deliverability. Yes, there are plenty out there. You can just Google this and then you'll find something. Beginners might do this step semi-manually, I don't know. For example, using ChatGPT in a separate window to brainstorm a paragraph for your newsletter, then paste the best version into Mautic. It's still AI automation in that the content creation is offloaded to AI, even if not fully integrated into the workflow yet. Yeah, Totally. I mean, this is what most texters are doing anyways. So you tell somebody, hey, write me the copy for an email. And then the person goes to ChatGPT, says, okay, I'm this and this person, blah, blah. I have these products. I need an email. So, and then ChatGPT gives you exactly what you want, and you can start from there. Test and launch. Run test contacts through your workflow. For example, create a dummy customer in WooCommerce and ensure they appear in Mautic with the correct details and receive the welcome email. Verify that personalization tokens fill in correctly. It's important to QA the timing as well. Make sure the automation doesn't send emails too early or more than once per trigger. Once satisfied, activate the workflow and let it run continuously. You now have a basic automated pipeline. As new customers come in, they are immediately welcomed via an AI assistant email sequence. Yes, at the beginner stage, the use of AI is relatively minimal, perhaps helping with copy or deciding send times, but the heavy lifting of data transfer and email sending is fully automated. This alone saves a lot of manual effort and lays the foundation for deeper AI integration. Yes. And that's how you get addicted to build stuff like this. And for advanced users, enhancing with AI and custom workflows. Exactly. Dynamic AI content generation. Move beyond static email templates by having AI generate content per recipient at send time. That's what I discussed before already. One method is to use N8N to call an AI API, for example, OpenAI, for each contact and inject the results into the email. For example, you might create a newsletter, a custom newsletter intro field in Mautic and use N8N to fill this field with a unique AI written intro paragraph for each contact just before sending. In practice, this can be done by a Mautic campaign trigger, a webhook to N8N, passing the contact's ID and maybe some context like their browsing history or references or preferences. N8N then uses an AI node to generate a personalized snippet, say a tailored product recommendation or a summary of blog posts the contact would care about, and updates the contacts field via Mautic's API. The campaign's next step sends the email, which now contains the AI-generated snippet via a token. This approach allows truly one-to-one email personalization. Every recipient could get different content curated just for them by the AI. Do be mindful of length limits, yes. Ensure the custom field can store the amount of text the AI returns. Exactly. Yes, but this type of workflow is already possible in Mautic. It's very simple to build. It's actually something I will create a tutorial for. That's really amazing. So yes, this is something which is amazing and super personalized. Multi-step event triggers. Extend your N8N workflows to handle more complex e-commerce triggers and conditions. An advanced user can chain nodes and logic. For instance, when an order is completed, fetch the order details, items, amount, category of products via WooCommerce node, then decide which email to send. If it's the customer's first purchase, Mautic could send a thank you plus onboarding email. If it's a repeat high-value purchase, perhaps trigger a VIP thank you email with a loyalty reward. N8N can evaluate these conditions and call different Mautic campaign endpoints or apply tags accordingly. Yes. You might also integrate third-party data here. For example, use an N8N node to pull the latest blog post or current promo and have the AI summarize it, appending that summary into an email. Advanced workflows orchestrate multiple services, CRM, inventory, blog RSS, AI, email platform, all coordinated through N8N's automation. Yes, that's, I think the last tutorial we posted on our YouTube was doing exactly that. AI-powered segmentation and scoring. Leverage AI to analyze and segment your contact list automatically. For example, use a Python script or AI service that processes engagement data from Mautic, opens, clicks, site visits, to predict which contacts are hot leads versus at risk of churn. Mautic can store a lead score or segment label for each contact. An advanced setup might run nightly via N8N, exporting contact engagement stats, feeding it to an AI model or even a simple heuristic, and updating each contact score in Mautic. Subsequently, your email campaigns can branch. High score leads get one series of emails, perhaps upsell content generated by AI, while low engagement contacts get a different touch, perhaps a re-engagement email that an AI writes in a special tone. This kind of predictive segmentation ensures the content and frequency of emails match the user's predicted propensity, maximizing relevance. That's amazing. I loved it. That's so cool. I think we have here like one we built already, this multi-step event triggers, but dynamic AI content generation is definitely something I will make a tutorial, and AI-powered segmentation and scoring. I mean, this is amazing. That's so nice. Having a cron job doing this every night, that's just awesome. I will build another tutorial for that. Then number 4, quality control and human oversight. Even in an advanced autonomous system, it's wise to keep a human in the loop at critical points. For instance, set up an approval step for entirely new AI-generated content. Yes, Mautic could save AI-written drafts, which you or your team review before they go online, before they go live. You might also use N8N to route certain AI outputs to Slack or email for a quick human check if they meet certain criteria. For example, if the sentiment of the AI text is detected as negative, flag it for review. Yes, advanced users will build fail-safes. If the AI service is down or returns an error, the workflow should perhaps insert a default fallback text into their email rather than send nothing. Implement logging in N8N for every AI content generation and email send. This helps with debugging of something. If something goes wrong, or if a customer got an inappropriate email, you can trace why. Essentially, treat the AI components as you would any critical software. Monitor their performance and have contingency plans. Yes, that's totally necessary. I think it's the same thing. Like managing an AI agent is the same thing as managing an employee. You need to log whatever the agent is doing in exactly the same manner as you would need to log what your employee is doing. So in Mautic, for example, your AI agent needs its own user, because then you understand, then you can see the log for this user, and you can understand, this email was made by this user, so you can trace it back to when was the email made in N8N, for example. You can see this in the logs there. And then you understand, okay, this and this happened. With an employee, you would need to do the same. So with an employee, you would need to have the same steps involved. The employee needs his or her own user in Mautic and also in N8N or in each other software they're using for creating content, in order for you to understand who wrote this email and who is the person I need to talk to in order to understand why they wrote it like this, and so on. So yeah, it's basically the same thing. And building, I have, like, here my watch gets Telegram messages, Telegram alerts if some of my workflows get stuck. Then I will get it on my watch, and then I can see, oh my God, this didn't work. Then I take a look why and can troubleshoot or restart the thing if it's necessary. Oh, I'm getting tired. I ran the half marathon yesterday and now I'm tired. Still. Okay, continuous optimization. That's number 5. With everything integrated, you can truly close the loop on optimization. Capture the outcomes of your emails, who opened, who clicked, who purchased again, and feed that data back into your AI models. An advanced practitioner might periodically retain a custom model or adjust AI prompt parameters based on what content had the best performance. Even if you're using third-party AI like GPT, you can iteratively refine the prompts in your N8N nodes to yield better output. For example, instruct the AI to use a more informal tone if you find that version of the email got higher clicks. Additionally, consider using AI to optimize send times on a per-user basis. Analyze each contact's past engagement timestamps and have N8N schedule emails at individualized times. Some AI-driven systems do this already. You can DIY by crunching Mautic data with a script. Over time, these continual tweaks compound into a very robust, self-improving email marketing system. Totally. You need to, the important, now we started at the end of when? Of 22. I think it was 22, right? Yes, at the end of 2022, November or something, we started using ChatGPT 3.5. And since then, so many different models came. We created a lot of stuff with ChatGPT. We created then a lot of stuff with Claude. Then we played around with different other ones. And it's constantly evolving, and it's constantly changing how we need to prompt the systems, because the systems try to understand human behavior differently each time, and the different models are they act differently. So of course you need to prompt them differently. Yes, so that's very interesting. In the beginning, for example, you needed to tell GPT 3.5 things like act like an SEO expert. I want to, and your goal is to outrank blah blah, and this is the input. So you needed to tell it how it should act. You don't need to do this anymore. You don't need to tell it you need to act and think like an SEO agent. Nobody needs that anymore. But stuff like this, of course, evolves with time, and you should definitely have a feedback loop and improvement loop, and work with these with your workflows or AI integrations, because they will evolve and you need to evolve too. So yes, so now we have a few best practices and challenges. Start with clear goals. Identify what you want to achieve with AI. For example, higher open rates, less manual writing, better targeting, and apply AI where it will have impact. Don't use AI just for the sake of it. Totally. Tie it to a metric, conversion rate, return on invest, etc., and monitor that. Then maintain human oversight. AI can generate content and make decisions, but marketers should supervise. Always review AI-generated copy, especially initially, to ensure it aligns with your brand voice and contains no factual errors. Think of AI as an assistant. It can draft at scale, but a human makes the final call. This prevents embarrassing outputs and keeps messaging on brand. Then data quality and privacy. Your AI is only as good as the data feeding it. Make sure customer data from WooCommerce Shopify is syncing correctly to Mautic. No mix-ups of names or segmentation. Yes, super important. Clean data leads to relevant personalization. Bad data can produce nonsensical AI content. Also, respect privacy and compliance. If you're leveraging personal data to personalize emails, ensure you have user consent and follow regulations like GDPR, CAN, spam, and so on. Gradual implementation. Avoid trying to automate everything at once. A common pitfall is over-engineering an AI solution that becomes hard to manage. Yes. the best things are very simple and very little workflows. So at least that's my opinion. You can do the most crazy stuff as you want, but simple is effective. It's often best to start small, maybe auto-generate one section of a newsletter or use AI for subject lines and evaluate the results. Then expand the AI's role as you gain confidence. This incremental approach helps build internal buy-in and allows you to catch issues on a small scale. Monitor and tune continuously. Treat your AI-driven campaigns as living projects. Keep an eye on key metrics like open rate, click rate, conversion, unsubscribe rate, and even spam complaints. If you introduce AI-written content and suddenly unsubscribes spike, that's a red flag to adjust tone or frequency. Use A/B tests when rolling out AI content. For example, send AI-written version to a small group and human-written to another. Compare results and decide. AI can also assist in this analysis, but human judgment is crucial to interpret nuances. Beware of AI limitations. Current AI models like GPT-3 and GPT-4 are powerful but not infallible. They may produce irrelevant or incorrect information if prompts are poor. Initially, one Mautic user noted the ChatGPT API could only return a limited number of characters, making it less useful for longer email content. Okay, I think that was a long time ago. Such limitations are being improved over time, but always be prepared for the AI to occasionally falter. Plan fallbacks in your workflow. For example, use a standard template when AI output is empty or too long. One thing, of course, is the prompt and the system message shouldn't be too long too. So that's true. You need to build your workflows in a way that the prompt plus the answer is within the token range of the LLM you're using. Or maybe the history is too long. Maybe you're saving too much history and every time putting everything to the LLM. So you need to understand, okay, what's actually necessary, which parts are necessary, how do I treat the process in order to feed the LLM with the context. But this is something you need to learn, and you can only learn it by doing it. Deliverability considerations. AI can inadvertently craft text that triggers spam filters. Yes, of course, like humans. Certain phrases are too good to be true offers. To maintain good deliverability, use tools, some AI-based, to check your emails against spam criteria. Additionally, randomizing send timings and adding natural variability can help. One N8N workflow template suggests inserting random delays between sends to mimic natural sending patterns and avoid triggering spam filters. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think that's bullshit. This is especially important as if your AI is sending a high volume of emails in a short time. Okay, so for sending high volumes of emails, it's not easy. It's not easy sending high volumes of emails. If you are a beginner, you will not have the ability to send so many emails. So we are sending, at Hardmode.io, we are sending at a 200 emails per second rate. And this is like 12,000, 14,000 emails per minute for our shared pools. So if you are a regular founder user, we have these 14,000 cents per minute, and all of our shared pool users are using this pool. So and this is fast actually. So at least for us, that's fast and fine. And it works great. But of course, it takes time. If you have a list with 200, 300, 500,000 users, it takes time to send these emails to your users. It's not there within 1 minute. And it will never be there if you're very small within a very short amount of time. So if you send 3,000 emails, don't think about oh, and now I need to wait 3 seconds because then it mimics like I would send it with one click. It doesn't do it anyways. If you are sending 3,000 emails with your private Gmail, you get banned. So don't try. You need to use a mass sending system anyways if you want to send high amounts of bulk mail. So I think that's bullshit. Keep content fresh and genuine. As more companies adopt AI, there's a risk of everyone sending similarly styled messages. Subscribers may become numb to obviously machine-generated content. To combat this, feed your AI model with your unique brand messaging and values. Some enterprise solutions like Jacquard specifically analyze your brand voice to keep copy on point. Yes, that's what we are doing as well. So yeah, interesting. Ensure. I think this is where the quality is like this is where the quality split happens. How well like marketers understand in order to get a certain output and not like this random, like of course. So I will finish this thought. But in order to get a certain output, you need to understand how to prompt your AI, and you need to understand how to feed the context in which way. And this combination is going to create an agent or give an agent the ability to have your unique tone of voice or your brand's unique tone of voice. That's very important. And this is where the split happens between totally generic, everybody makes the same thing, and oh my God, they really have nice content, which I want to read. So yeah, that's something what's very important. So you cannot just tell an AI, I'm an email marketer and I want to write an email about open rates for my newsletter. So now, of course, you get the generic bullshit because it has so limited, it got so limited understanding of who you are, what you're doing, what's your background, how do you talk, and so on. So it needs to get all the information in order to create an email which represents you. Yeah, I think that's the thing you need to learn. Everybody needs to learn if we're working with them. Yes, like ensure your content still has a human touch, anecdotes, genuine offers, and creativity that set it apart. One expert cautioned that if AI generated posts flood inboxes, they might become less valuable than human-generated content. Over time, yes. In short, use AI to enhance your creativity, not replace it. I think you can definitely use it to do the work for you, but you cannot use it to do everything for you. So before you use AI, you need to define your voice and your content, and then you can use AI to roll it out over everything. So yeah, I think that's a really cool thing. And then community and support. Finally, leverage the community resources available. Open source tools have forums, as seen with Mautic and N8N users sharing their AI integration tricks, like in the Mautic forums and in the N8N forums. You can learn from others' successes and mistakes. AI in email marketing is still a new frontier. Best practices are evolving. Stay informed on the latest features, for example, new N8N notes or Mautic plugins that might emerge for AI, and don't hesitate to iterate on your strategy as technology advances. Yes, totally. I think that's really, really nice. Again, if you like more content like this, just let me know. And yeah, that's it for today's episode of Automate This. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a future episode. And if you're ready to take automation to the next level, check out the links in the show notes. Until next time, keep automating and stay ahead of the curve.